women are every bit as equal as men. When we talk about my husband, who is sitting right over here, our relationship is based on mutual respect, doing the same things, you know, being best friends, which is, I think, the best kind of marriage. And if you aren't best friends with your spouse, I don't care if you're a man or a woman, you don't have a good marriage. If you can't talk to the person in a marriage, you don't have a good marriage. It's not about deference.
Well, I agree with you there.
But it's not about deference.
Well, no, deference, you know what deference is, see, because you see, you're so hostile, you don't even understand. Yeah, oh,
You
yeah.
quit calling me hostile.
Oh, okay.
I'm strong.
Maybe you're not as strong as you think you are. You know
Oh, I'm as strong as you think I think I am.
Oh, but let me just tell you, what deference simply means, a man is naturally, that's his nature, what you won't accept. But a man is his natural nature is possessive. And that's just possessive. See, that's why a man will get a lot more upset. Oh, to give an example. Have you ever heard a polygamous family, a woman's in charge? Oh, you wouldn't come with some weird out thing where there's five men living under one woman?
I have heard.
Of course you have.
I've heard of it, but no,
Go
wait
deep.
a minute.
Go deep now.
I've heard of polyandry relationships, but I know that polygamous.
You're talking about human beings.
Can I finish what I'm saying?
Yes, darling.
Good Lord.
Yes.
But I'm saying that I will agree with you that polygamous relationships are more common. That I agree with 100%.
Well, I mean, I'm saying.
Where the men are the head of the family.
Do you know any relationships that you can point to now? But don't tell me about something that happened 1,000 years ago. Now, where a woman is a head of a household with 4 husbands.
I don't know of any, but that doesn't mean there aren't any.
No, what that mean is that a woman is able to live under because a man possesses, a woman don't. A woman don't feel possessive of a man.
To me,
like a man feel of a woman.
Oh, come on.
What do you mean? Come on, can't you deny what you see?
What I see is if you talk
if
about
a man's got 6 wives and they're all happy under one man, what does that mean?
That's who they are. You're taking one specific example.
But you could see this in
I want to touch on something you said about a man possessing a woman.
Yes, a man feel possessive.
That's kind of a scary thought because when men are overly possessive, they tend to be overly aggressive, and then we ask ourselves why there's so many women that are being abused, beaten up, and killed by men.
Well, the door's always open. You don't have to be abused if a man starts you hit the door.
In this day and age,
hit the door. They lay around and complain.
No.
Hit the door.
No, statistically.
You say that the man don't possess you.
No.
Hit the door.
You're blindsided by something. Most women, first of all, women make 75 cents on the man's dollar.
What's that got to do with me?
Wait a minute. A lot of women head of households that don't have a man around, it's 80%. The men leave. That's 80%.
So what's the point?
A lot of women do not get to make the financial.
So they need the man look out for them. You said
they can't leave because there's nowhere for them to go.
What do you mean? So what, they're going to hang? Where are they going? Eventually they do leave. When that beating get too much for them, they do go.
No, a lot of times they get killed by the man.
You act like that happens every 5 minutes. That's not the rule.
It may not happen every 5 minutes, but at least happens every day.
You know that.
Yes, I do.
So in other words,
I have a friend.
You're so fragile that why don't you kill the man?
Some women do.
So what's the point then? What's your point?
The point that I'm trying to make is you're talking about men being possessive of women,
yes.
And I'm telling you sometimes they're overly possessive.
But you said when you say
and abuse them.
Well, wait a minute. The point simply is this: there's a line where a man is possessive of a woman.
No.
If he goes past that line, the door's always open to walk out.
That's a.
And now you tell me she can't walk out because the man is looking out for her. I mean,
no, that's not what I'm saying at all.
What else? Why she can't go?
I'm saying women do not have the same opportunities as men. That's absolutely the truth.
What opportunity you don't have? You got everything else. You take.
We've got a country. Wait a minute. Why are only 3% of CEOs in this country women? Why?
Why do you ask a question like that? What
because
does that got to do with
it has
CEOs got to do with the average woman? All right, I want to ask you a question.
But
You
no,
know Michael
you haven't
Jordan?
You haven't answered
Because
my
it's
question.
ridiculous. Because the question's
It's
not even.
not ridiculous.
They're talking about how many CEOs. Maybe they're not enough qualified to be CEOs.
Because they haven't been given the opportunity. That's why.
Okay.
Okay.
So what that mean?
You take women
So
from
what's
the
that got to
50s.
do?
You take women from the 50s, and they didn't have the opportunities that women have now.
Yes, so.
Okay, so we haven't had those opportunities. Therefore,
So that's why
they've
you
still
sit around
got-
and get your ass bit.
They
That's what you
don't
said?
have anywhere to go,
What do you mean?
Leroy.
Go and get a damn job.
What job are they going to get if they have kids?
They can't get a job.
Do you know
There's
how
a lot of women that don't have a man that got kids.
And you know what? They get paid a hell of a lot less. Those women that have kids
So you're
are, no, wait a minute. Hang on a second. You're really hitting a nerve here. Because there are a lot of women out there that because they have kids,
what
they
you're
have
getting
more,
at.
hang on, they have more responsibilities to take care of their children. Many of them work 2 jobs because women don't get paid as much as
poor
men.
women.
They don't have,
Well, you know they got porno, you know. You make a fortune there.
if someone wants to do that, let them.
Well, there's always plenty. You make more money out of that than, you know.
There are women who do that, and I
they
certainly,
make, some of them make millions.
and you know how I feel about that?
We can't make a quarter.
And you know,
Except selling it.
some of you guys, some of
we
you
make it
guys,
selling it. We make selling the DVDs you make.
so, you'd be surprised how many women are actually CEOs or own-
CEOs of porno companies.
they run porno companies.
that's right,
There
yeah.
are women that do that
I
too.
know. But
And
it's
you're
with
right,
the
you're
dogs, man.
absolutely-
We dogs, you know. We're the ones that, you women, now, oh, you're so wonderful. You hang around, you get your butt bipped, and you hang around. It's our fault.
No,
and the doors are
no,
always there. I don't know.
no,
Or
no.
you'll just hit the damn door.
You are-
and a lot of them say, I finally left because you want to be possessed.
No, I am so, you are so wrong, I can't believe it. I have a very dear friend in Texas who was a social worker dealing with abused women. And if you heard some of the stories she told me about how women would try and get out of relationships and men would chase them down and kill them,
Oh, gee, that's prevalent, right?
it's more prevalent than you think.
Oh. So most reason women don't leave abusive men is because they're going to be chased down and killed. Is that it?
In some cases, yes.
Oh, I'm not talking about. There's always some cases. We're talking about in the entirety. We're talking about the big picture.
I am talking.
You can't bring it down to a few isolated cases.
I am talking about.
It is
no,
not the big.
no.
It's not the rule. It's the exception.
No, it's not the exception.
So in other words, there's a lot of women.
Many
hang around.
women often are abused by men, whether it's physically, psychologically, emotionally.
Psychologically.
Absolutely.
So you're supposed to be just as good. How come you're gonna let a man psychologically abuse you?
I'm not
Why
going
don't
to
you
do
abuse
that.
him?
You're putting this down
But
to.
you're saying that you have the same ability, you're just equal to us, but yet we can psychologically abuse you.
I could psychologically abuse someone, but I'm
Well,
not saying
you said a
everyone
woman.
can. I think a woman could. I'm not saying they couldn't. I'm not.
Well, why are you using that as a criteria?
But I'm using that as a criteria because if you think about it, and if you knew the statistics of women that get killed, beaten up, go to any police station.
But that, of course, you see men beating up men. What does that mean? I don't get what you're saying.
Men beat up men.
You're trying to say
men beat up men for different reasons than they beat up women.
you keep on saying that everything is equal. Then you say a man psychologically abused. You cannot be abused
And I
psychologically.
also said that women could psychologically abuse men, but I also admitted.
So why bring up then? If
Wait
it
a
could be
minute.
equal,
I
then why
also
bring it up?
admitted that men were stronger physically than women.
Well, you have no choice but to admit it.
And
That's only when you admit
no,
it.
I have no problem
You
with
have no
that.
choice.
I'm not-